And if
Yeah.
we could have had a honest information environment, I wouldn't even be writing about the damn things. So
Yeah.
that frustrates me so much. It's like painted me into a corner I never wanted to be in.
And this is, I think, what you call the Truman Show. It's like you've
Absolutely.
got, it's just like, and this is, I've thought the government has been lying to us about who knows what for who knows how long, but it
Yeah.
became so obvious that like
Right.
the lies were so blatant, they were so clear, and they were just so, it was like they're mocking you. It's just like they're making
Absolutely.
fun of you.
Yeah,
Um,
almost, man. I mean, the AAP thing, the American Academy of Pediatrics, when they put out the mask, the batshit
oh,
crazy mask threat in the middle of the mask mandate, and it literally was like you said, it was almost a mocking tone. It was like graphical and like talking down to us. And
yeah.
but what it was conveying was that the the biggest doctor organization in the world for kids, right? These are like the top experts for our kids, are like, oh, there will be no impact of masking your children all day long. What
Oh
the?
no, then they're
Come
still
on.
saying that shit.
I know, dude.
It's
Yeah.
unbelievable. Like we all know that kids look at your faces to see like facial expressions and communicate
Absolutely.
context about language, because a language is it's a multi-sensory thing.
Watch this. Boom. How's the conversation with me now? Right? Completely different. Like, like even me looking at you, I
I'll
can
tell you,
see
if you
reactions.
wouldn't mind, I'd rather you keep the video on.
Oh no, I am. I just wanted to do a
Okay,
little
and
like, look how
I'll just
different.
throw a block over your
Yeah, I
face
appreciate it. But
because
like,
this
look
is
how
way better for
different
sure.
that. Yeah, it's very cool.
I've done them to a picture of my buddy Ace, and he just had like some sort of uh cartoon of himself that he puts up because, well,
That's
the
yeah.
Patois gets his life for something
Yeah,
he did
yeah.
when he was
That's
30
creepy.
years
I did
ago.
it this way
But
with Benjamin too. We could see each other. He just didn't post it. But
I
no, I
said,
just turned it off to like paint the picture of what we're talking about there. Like all of a sudden, if you're talking that black square, it's so much less
yeah.
animated as dead. It's so imagine a child who's just learning language. They need
Yeah.
that stuff so
Oh, yeah.
bad.
Great illustration there, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly. Like everything changes in our dialogue. I get so much when I look at this monitor and see your reactions to my words, your eyes, or your
yeah.
body. I mean, it's just, yeah, man, it's sick. There's this one dude who I don't want to mention names, not about call outs, but we like sword fought on Twitter about mass over and over. And, the sad thing is he revealed himself to just be lost in this cloud of sanctimony I talk about all the time because the science just wasn't on his side on
Yeah.
any of these arguments we were jousting on. But one of the things that he was willing to just send all the men on the hill and die over was that masks don't have an impact on children and that they don't even mind them. He used to always say to me, they're just like another accessory. It's just like another accessory to kids. And what was so maddening about this topic is you don't need studies in science, dude. This is basic
No,
common sense. If you
no.
wrap children's face in cloth every day, it's going to mess things up. And I don't know if you heard me talking about this, but my wife, be careful how much I reveal, but she works in testing for young children, very young children, 3 to 5 years old. And it's not really just about speech; it's overall, academic testing. But it's their speech is a huge component, and in fact, at the 3 to 5 range, the speech is something they really focus on because it lets them know sort of where the child is.
Mm-hmm.
And as COVID was happening and mask mandates were happening, she right away started to tell me that she was noticing it in kids. It was small, but it was like this trickle, and it bothered me. Dude, I wrote a thread like 3 months ago because we were talking and she had come home and man, it was 100% one day, 80% the next day, all but one the next day. They all have speech issues now, bro. It's no longer the kid with the speech issue. It's
Yeah.
like they all have them. And it's
Right.
heartbreaking because it's obviously because these kids grew up in a world where they've never seen faces.
Yeah.
Any of them. It's awful.
My
Heartbreaking.
sister works in early childhood care, like kindergarten, 4-year-olds or so, and she said the impact on the kids, that like even the kids who weren't at school were impacted because their brothers and sisters who are older were impacted. Like
Yeah.
it's very, and you've also got to say in fairness, you know, who knows, do they catch up? Like it's not like it's going to be regressed forever. Maybe
Yeah.
it's hard to,
Agreed.
maybe it is, maybe it isn't, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right,
And I
but
think there
it's,
is some truth to that dude's position that a lot of people, a lot of the children weren't bothered by them to the level the adults were yelling about them all the time. But the reason that argument pisses me off so much is why is that? It's because children are very subservient and they do what we tell them
right.
to do. So like, yeah, they just quit bitching about it, but that doesn't like render it better for them.
But
What are we talking
you've
about?
also got to imagine the personality types of children whose parents, the personality types of the parents of the
Yeah.
children who are forcing them to mask,
Yeah.
because these things correlate. And in like
Oh, yeah.
the personality types of the parent who is going to insist that their kid is masked all the time is a law and order sort of parent,
Right.
right? They're
Right. Right.
already about everything,
Yeah. Yeah.
and to each your own how you're going to parent, but
Sure.
that that's not right for all kids. Like
Yeah, yeah.
it's coming
I've
down from
I've
the
held that
school.
line strongly because it's about principles to me and not just winning my side of things. And
Yeah,
I'm huge on parents can raise their kids how they want. So sadly,
yeah,
when I see these poor kids being tormented by their parents' COVID compulsion, I'm not ranting about it because I want them to be stopped. Like, sadly, they get the right to raise their kids that way, but it breaks my heart, man. Kids are getting wrecked in this, man.
yeah.
Wrecked
It's
across various fronts, not just speech and stuff and masks.
absolutely true.